Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Fahad Khan, and today I am gonna talk about what I think about the riots going on around America and other countries. And yeah, and I'm gonna speak more about like what's on my mind about it. So let's begin. Um, so the riots obviously happened because of George Floyd's death, and what happened to him is absolutely terrible. It was racism involved and so many other things, and it's disgusting. I feel disgusted by what's happened and all these riots and all the police brutality that's going on right now, and just it's just terrible right now. 2020 is off to the worst start right now with the coronavirus and everything going on with fire, and then each week is just worse than the last. And right now, it's just I wouldn't be surprised if anything like worse of the worst came, like because it's just I'm like it's just I don't know how to say it. Just like I just have that mental thought right now, like, okay, anything can happen now. Like, we've been through coronavirus and then the fires and then the riots right now, and then next could happen whatever, and so many other things throughout this entire new decade, this new year. And it's it's just, just what's happening right now is just the worst. Police brutality, black people being, African American people being killed, and them going to jail or being like going through the worst racism, white supremacy, and all of that. It's just so bad right now in the world, and it's hard to believe like this is the world we're in, and there are people with power that that don't even try to stop this, and they mostly, instead of like abolishing racism or like trying to get rid of it and care about everyone else, they want to be in a world where people with power, people with higher authority or whatever should be like they should get away with whatever they want, or like they get away with anything they choose, and it's just terrible in my opinion. And growing up, I was never the kind of person that would like separate myself between like so my entire life I've went to a private school, all Muslim kids school for 9 years of my life. And then almost 5 years ago, um, I I no yeah almost 5 years ago I graduated and went to my first public school, which was my high school. And over there, it was a whole new experience. Lots and lots of Caucasian, aka white people, and I do have a lot of friends, white, African American, like Asian. Like I don't say like, oh, I want to be friends with him, and I don't want to be friends with him. No, I was never raised to be like choosing side. Like oh, I want to be I want to be hang out with white people and all of that, not be with African American kids. That was never what I was taught and raised up to be. And being Muslim as a minority, I know what what people around the world that are of different skin color or ethnicity or religion go through, and it's disgusting that our president like pushes toward more chaos than trying to have peace and all. And and honestly, from the beginning, like from when he ran for office and his hate comments between Muslims and Mexican and African American people, it was just it was let's just say it was not the material of a leader that we would expect. He was trying to be a racist person instead of being like a well leader that supports equality instead of supporting one side. And it's just hard to see what our world is now. And um, being Muslim, we learn about like certain prophets and what they went through, like Moses, Jesus, Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, peace be upon all of them, and Abraham, and all of them, and what they went through, what how are they connected to us, and everything. And it's surprising that we all come from Adam and Eve, and we all hate one another. We support to be separated instead of being united in in a world where we all exist. Like you can be whatever you want. Like okay, like you can be a cop, you can be whatever, like an astronaut, president, a lawyer, a congressman, congresswoman, whatever in the world you can be, but we choose to separate ourselves from people of different backgrounds, different ethnicities, different religions, different skin of color, and it's sickening because it's what kind of a world are we leaving for our kids and our grandkids um, and the upcoming future generations, like because this is toxic. This is unacceptable. And it's surprising because we all are given birth, we all have life, we all have death, and we all go back in the ground. Like we all have the same skeleton. We all have some sort of education, or we all have 2 ears, two mouths. We breathe the same air, and it's just it's just so bad to see the entire world hating one another, war break out almost everywhere around the world, and bombings and all of this. It's just it's just like most people think like why doesn't God just kill us all? It's that to that point where people just don't even see the point of living anymore because of like what going on in the world and what certain people face. Instead of helping one another, we bring down one another, and it's just it's just very very bad. And I know I'm like repeating myself, but it's just I can't find the words to express how I feel right now because it's being an 18-year-old. Just like almost a year ago, I became like 18, an adult, an equalized adult, and it's just hard to see what the real world that we live in is so terrible, where there's poverty, corruption, police brutality, racism, war, and everything else. like bad, and then instead of trying to make it into a good thing, we just continue to bring more bad into our life instead of bringing something good, and it's just very, just very disgusting to me, and it reminds me of a time when Islam was first starting out. The first black man, his name was Bilal Zilan, and how and what he went through is amazing, and then where he got to is amazing. Like his story is incredible because he was a slave, and then when he accepted Islam, he was owned by one of the kafirun, the non-Muslims that would try to make it their mission to make Islam go away or punish whoever was Muslim at the time. And he was, and Bilal radiallahu was a slave, and his masters would put him on the ground, put a heavy boulder on his chest, and whip him in the streets of Mecca. And the one word he would always say is Ahad, Allah is one. And it's amazing how he went through all of that, but then Abu Bakr radiallahu anh comes and he buys he buys and frees Bilal radiallahu anh. And when this was all going on, um, when Abu Bakr was sent by Prophet Muhammad to free Bilal, he says, "You asked," and the person that sold Bilal radiallahu anh to Abu Bakr, he said, "What a waste of money that you spent on this person." And it was that it doesn't matter. And Abu Bakr's, I think it was Abu Bakr Rasulullah that said, "It does. If you asked for 100 gold pieces or 1,000, I would have given you it just to free him." And the person was left in shock. And then, as Islam went on more and more, and Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu abolished, like made racism, abolished it in Makkah and Medina, and it was incredible because for a person to do in a village where there were ignorance and everything like bad to corruption to raping women to all of that, and this man is born of such a soft and honest and truthful soul. It's amazing because it shows that we all face different challenges, but the prophets like Moses, Abraham, Jesus, David, Solomon, Ezekiel, they all faced tougher challenges than we have to what has been given to us by them, like the Bible, the Torah, the Quran, and it's amazing. And then when the Azan is first being said, um, Prophet Muhammad SAW says to Bilal to climb the Kaaba and call the Azan with your voice. So the very first time that the Azan was given was through a black man, was given through an African American. And when Rasulullah went on Isra and Mi'raj, the night journey, when Rasulullah came down and spoke to Bilal, radiallahu anh, he says, "Yeah, Bilal, last night I went inside to Jannah and I heard your footsteps ahead of mine." That doesn't mean that Bilal radiallahu anh is better or anything like that than Rasulullah. It doesn't mean that. And then Rasulullah asks Bilal, "What do you do that led led to this? Like I heard your footsteps ahead of mine in Jannah." He says, "Oh Rasulullah, what I do is I make wudu. Wudu, whether I'm in wudu or without wudu, I always make wudu. Whether if I pass some wind or smell something bad, I make wudu." And it's amazing how this person that is so close to his Lord, that was a slave, then he went through all this pain in his life. And it's amazing where it got him in his life, being one of the people in Jannah that his footsteps can be heard farther than the Rasul's sounds, and he makes wudu. And when Adam was created, when Allah created him, the angels asked, "Oh Allah, why are you making this creation? Why are you creating mankind? Are you gonna place on the earth a person that will cause corruption and spill blood?" It's similar to what's happening right now. We're spilling blood and causing corruption everywhere we go right now. And Allah gives us free will, and He says to the angels, "I know what you don't know." And the angels, when Allah was creating Adam and Sam, they asked, "Is it because we don't worship you enough? Is it because we don't praise you enough, Ya Allah?" And it's and on the day of judgment, when everyone is there being trialed, when everyone's being judged, when the scale comes to measure your good deeds and your bad deeds, the angels won't be measured because they were made to worship Allah, to praise Allah, their entire existence. And the jinns, the demons, the shayateens, they were given free wills like us. They can do whatever is right or wrong, whatever they want. And that's why the angels ask, "Are you going to place on the earth a kind that spills blood and causes corruption?" Because that's what the Jinnat and the Shayateens did. And it's amazing how this all comes back to now. It's relevant to now because right now we're sacrificing one another and spilling our blood and causing corruption. And Allah said, "You don't know what I don't know." And the first racist thing in history, in all of existence, was when Adam was created, the first prophet, the first human being. Allah said to the angels to prostrate, and Iblis, Shaitan, was within that group. He was the pious one at that time. He was granted into Jannah, and he said, "No, I won't prostrate." Everyone prostrated, all the angels, but Iblis said, "I won't," because he was made out of clay and Iblis was made out of fire. One is ignorance in that, two is racism. And it shows how what happens now. We think due to our skin color or due to whatever position we are in the world, we're above someone. No, you're not. You're never above someone. Even Rasulullah, the greatest man ever to be, ever to step on the earth, ever to be born, ever to be created. Even non-Muslims, Christian, Jews, Hindus, atheists, someone says that yes, he is um, he is the greatest creation. He is the best man to be ever created. and he is a wonderful leader. In Michael Hart's 100 People, Rasulullah is ranked number one, and it's amazing because this is a Christian man, a non-Muslim, and saying Rasulullah is number one of the best human beings to ever walk the earth. And, and Rasulullah during his final sermon, his final speech before he passed away, he said, all of mankind comes from Adam and Eve. All of mankind, no matter what skin color you are, whatever. No, no Arab has superiority over a non-Arab, and a non-Arab has no superiority over a Arab. And a white person doesn't have superiority over a black person, and a black person doesn't have superiority over a white person, except in piety and good actions. It's amazing how this was said 1400 or more years ago, and we still haven't picked up on that. Muslim or non-Muslim, like, we are all human beings. We all die. We all live. We all breathe the same air. Yet we hate one another. We we become racist. We become worse, or we become worst of the worst when it comes to other people, whether it be Asian or African American, Caucasian, Mexican, or anything. We're always judging or comparing one another to other people instead of being proud of who we are as our own person and comparing one another. Don't compare yourself to one another because it's not gonna make you feel, oh, I'm better than everyone. No, you're not. No, you're not. No one is better than one another. What matters is what are we striving to? Are we are we striving to do good in the world or to do good in the hereafter and enter paradise? It's it's hard to believe that people around the world would rather sacrifice other human beings just to make themselves happy or to say like, oh, I'm helping the world by getting rid of these types of people. George Floyd wasn't a bad person, and he died with a man crushing his neck, putting his knee on another man's neck and hold him to the ground. And George Floyd said, I can't breathe, officer. I can't breathe. And four people were watching. Four officers were a part of it. And they didn't stop. They didn't hear. They didn't listen. And they went with it because it's apparently their job. No, your job as police officers is to protect and serve people, not to murder and get away with it and do whatever you want because you have a badge. No, if you have a if you have a uniform, your uniform is a piece of cloth. Anyone, even a kid, can dress up as a police officer for Halloween. It doesn't mean you can do whatever you want. Everything will will come with a price. Everything you do leaves some mark in history or whatever you're part of it becomes part of your history. How are you gonna be if you know you hurt someone or your close friend or killed someone or took a father away from his daughter, a husband away from his wife, or someone away from someone that they're loved by? I think my one takeaway from this would be it would be kind to everyone. Stand up for what's right. Don't pursue hate and evil. And because we weren't born with evil or hate, we were taught hate. We were taught how to hate by other people in our lives, by the environment we grow up. Don't be a light of evil. Be a light of hope for others. Be be a good person. Be be someone that helps other people instead of hurt other people. If I think I think for I think something we should all do is if we've wronged someone or we hurt someone, no matter how big or small or how little it was or how big you guys' fight or whatever it was, forgive one another. Forgive. Forgiveness goes a long way. Forgiving other people is a good thing. And keeping on to hate is not a good thing. And the suicide song once said um, that the strong, the one strongest amongst you isn't the one of strength, is the one that can control his anger, that doesn't let the devil control him, that knows from right from wrong. It's amazing how we usually let our anger take control, and then after we do whatever we were like when we're angry at the moment, and then we come begging for forgiveness, or when we're about to die, you look back at your life. Who did you hurt? Who did you Who did you take away? Who did you push out of your life? Everyone's a human being. We all make mistakes, but we have to forgive one another. We have to be good to one another. Try to remove racism because it's not a good thing in the world. Everyone is a human being. Everyone is a human being. That's one thing we tend to forget. Instead of remembering we're all human beings, we just say that, oh, he's a Muslim, oh, everyone hates him, he's a terrorist. Oh, anyone that's black, oh, he's a criminal, he's a thug, he's in a gang. No, people are different. You can't judge a person from an entire nation or entire group of people from one person's action. You can't do that. That's like basically the saying, don't judge a book by its cover. You're judging people by what one person does and you're assuming the worst of the worst. Like, literally, there's racism everywhere. Try to remove it. Ask yourself what kind of a world are we living in? What kind of a world are we leaving for our children, for our grandchildren, for the future generation to come? So, guys, just do whatever you can. Spread awareness. Spread love. Spread kindness. Make kindness contagious. Make people feel safe around you instead of scared around you. Because a lot of people, the minorities in the world, in America, they're scared to see them. They don't know if they're going to live tomorrow or see their family ever again because of what we're doing right now in the world. People are being killed every single second somewhere around the world. We have homeless people, people in poverty. We we don't be grateful for what we have in our life. We think we can do whatever we want. We take advantage of it instead of being grateful for what we have. For for waking up every day, for having a roof over our head, from eating a nice meal, from having nice clothes, having the latest gadgets or whatever we have. be grateful for what you have. Be grateful for your parents. Be grateful for every every breath you take. Just be grateful for whatever you have before it's taken away, because anything can happen. Just like for COVID-19, everyone made summer, everyone made spring plans, wanted to travel to Florida or somewhere warm. I made plans. I planned to go watch my very first Bulls game, but that got canceled. It was taken away. But look on the bright side of things. One thing was taken away, but we got one thing. We got closeness to our family. We got to know our family better. We got to know how to be humble, how to be patient between these times, how to understand like what what kind of a world we're living in. How like because it's just amazing and scary both at the same time to see what what's just what's to come, what's gonna be, who's gonna be here tomorrow. Nobody knows that. Who knows who's gonna be here the next second? I don't know. I pray that I stay and be here for my family, be here with my parents, for my brothers, for my cousins, and yeah. Um, I think that's about it. I always have this one saying on my hoodie, the one that I was wearing in my last video, my white and gold hoodie. It says good vibes only. And the reason why I got that is because I want to pursue happiness, equality, kindness, all everything good and no hate, because hate is something that is going to destroy us all. It's going to take us away from our humanity. It's going to take away us from everything around us, because we're pursuing hate instead of God. We're creating more evil, corruption, spilling other people's blood, innocent people's blood, instead of saving another life, um, helping the homeless, getting rid of racism, police brutality, and everything. I want to be in a peaceful world. Ask yourselves, what kind of a world do you want to live in? A one with hate, or a one with kindness and happiness? So that's all for today. See you guys on Friday.